Good day, everybody. So as you can see, we have a slight change to the lineup here. I mounted my pressure washer because we are getting into pressure wash season here. So I got my pressure washer on the trailer so I don't have to mess with that big pallet anymore. That's just too darn heavy. And I mounted the hose reel on the edge there. So it's got 3 out of the 4 bolts are mounted right there. I ain't going nowhere. Right in the corner, right in the top. So it's super simple. And then, like we discussed in previous videos, I don't use a hose reel for my water intake. So I just got that just sitting right here. Too easy. Then my wand is in the box. My tips are in the box. I got spare O-rings and stuff like that in the box. And then so we're good to go. I'll just siphon right into a 5-gallon pail, the bleach and everything. And this is the yard. This is the yard today. We're going to mow. Get them all squared away. He's got a baby shower this weekend, so it's Thursday. So we're going to get this yard squared away, make it look really nice. And we're going to wash the house for him. This house is about 6 months old. It has some mildew on the west side, a little bit on the north side, and he's got a lot of like bug debris, stuff like that, like all over his house by his lights. So we're going to go ahead and wash that off. We're just going to use my simple bleach and Dawn mix. And there is one thing I want to show you guys before we get started. Alright, so I use the Dawn. Okay, this is Dawn Ultra, 50% less scrubbing, whatever, 3 times. And a lot of people make a lot of comments about Dawn and not mixing Dawn with bleach, and it says right on there, do not mix with bleach. Well, Dawn has the labels in the back. You notice this one does not say that. So make sure you pick it up. People will say because it doesn't have alcohol in it, or it doesn't have ammonia in it, I mean. So I guess some of these Dawns have ammonia, some of them don't. I don't know, whatever. I'm not a dishwashing expert. I don't really care. I just grabbed a blue Dawn because I like the smell and it works damn good. But this time I did actually pay attention, and I did not get bleach that had, the Dawn that says do not mix with bleach. Even though we're only putting an ounce to a gallon, you know what I'm saying? And then it's even getting diluted through the water. It's not doing anything. But this one does not say do not mix with bleach. So going forward, let's try to use the Dawn where the back of the label does not say do not mix with bleach, just for safety's sakes, okay? Are we cool now? We good? So that's what's going on here. But the first thing we're going to do, we're going to mow first, get the yard all cut down and everything, and then we'll go ahead and do the house wash, because what's the sense in mowing after you wash and getting it dusty and stuff. So we'll mow first, edge, weed eat, all that good stuff, and then we'll go ahead and get the wash done. So we're going to go ahead and mow now with the 36-inch hydro walk behind, the X mark. And we're going to cut it at about 2 3/4 inches. Going to get it nice. It's going to look really nice for him. That's a nice height for this newer yard. Maybe 1 or 2 more cuts this year, and that's going to be about it. So the only thing I got to do now is weed eat and blow off, but I wanted to kind of talk to you guys real quick about something like side hustling, right? So we're side hustling, but you see me with this big ass mower, right? It's a $6,300 mower. That's the sticker price plus tax, okay? And it's like, man, that's not really side hustling. That's like being a pro guy. It is, but it isn't. It's working smarter than I have to. I'm still side hustling. I still have a full-time job. I'm still working nearly 40 hours a week. It's because I haul ass and hustle Monday through Friday in my job that I get paid for 40-hour week, but I get done in 34 to 35 hours. So that's on me because I kill it. I crush it. That's what I do. I've always been like that. But you see me out here mowing, and I'm not out here with a push mower. And you might say, as a side hustler or a homeowner, you might say, it's hard to relate to you, Dan, because you got this big old mower and I'm out here push mowing. Hey, I've been where you're at, and here's what I hope for you. I hope that you make good decisions and you're able to save your money and you're able to get good interest rate or 0% interest rate. And I hope that you can get yourself into a position where you don't have to work so hard to make your side hustle money. I always say, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. So if you can work a large area mower like my walk behind into your inventory, or a zero turn, or if you want a 30-inch Time Master or something, an investment, but you can use that investment wisely and continue to keep the money in your pocket where you're not side hustling for the investment, but the investment's helping you side hustle and keep money in your pocket a little bit easier, then I support that 100%. But don't go out and try to keep up with the Dans or the Joneses or the Dans and buy big mowers because you think you have to, because you see people like me and other people either side hustling or full-time mowing using these big ass mowers. We're in a position to do it. I can afford it, and you know, but I couldn't afford it last year. It took me time, and now I can. So I just want you to weigh that out. You see what I'm saying? It's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. But you also need to know your limitations, and is your mower, your 20-inch push mower, limiting you from being able to keep more by being able to make more? That's only you can decide that. For me, it's a trade-off to leave a little bit of grass in the corner than it is to whip it, and I'm not pulling it out by hand. I don't do that. And I'm not going to spray it because that would be unsightly. That little corner right there, perfectly fine. Leave it. All right, so let me show you guys what we're dealing with at this house. Right now we got, like, you see these little black spots all up in here? That's like bug and frog shit. So we're gonna get that off. Lizard shit. Lizard shit. So we're gonna get stuff like that off. That's where the soap's gonna come in real handy. Lots of little bugs stuck up there. So we're gonna get that stuff off. The second floor too. So we can shoot that way and hit there, and then we can stand on the grass right here and shoot back this way to get this edge right up here. So that's not a problem. Over here, the west side of the house, you see it's really easier to see it on the white, but you see the discoloration already starting. Tis the season. Even though this house is only 6 months old, this is the time of the year where all the mildew and everything starts to show, and it's going to be on the west side and the north side of your homes. So we're going to get that all cleaned up. Then we got stuff here. I don't know what that is. That looks like dirt. That should come off. Almost looks like discoloration, but we're going to get all this clean. It's going to look brand new when we're done. Okay, all the way up. Looks like dog shit. Something hit right there, so we're going to get that. His cameras are waterproof. We're not going to spray them directly. They're going to get wet, but we're not going to shoot them with the pink tip. And I can actually use my black fan tip and leach the whole thing. And then rinse with the pink tip to get all the dirt off. Air conditioner will be fine. Won't hurt it, just rinse it. And then the side here. So what do I do about vents? That's a question that's asked quite often. You guys will ask me that about the vents. I will shoot up to the vents, but I'm not going to shoot all the way straight in. I'm not going to point directly into the vents. Will they get wet? Yes. Will moisture go up in there? A little bit, but I'm not shooting it up in there. All right, we're not going to cause water damage. That's just not going to happen. Also, when these houses are made, they don't put the insulation to those vents. So it's not like we're going to wet the insulation right there on the other side of the vent. They don't make them like that. They don't do that. Now, if a dumbass homeowner goes in there and does that, that's their stupidity, and moisture is going to happen anyways because it's just humidity. So, but there's always a buffer. So as long as I'm not shooting it straight in there, it'll be fine. So that's what we're going to do today, is just get this done. Right here, we're going to put 3 gallons of concentrate bleach, which is 6.0. Sodium hypochlorite with about 1 ounce of the Dawn that I showed you. All right, into 3 ounces for 3 gallons. That's it. Then I put my bleach in. Oh, it's mustard gas. It's mustard gas. All right, I'm gonna do that 2 more times. I'll be right back. All right, folks, it's very important that you take a look at the house, and I already looked as I went around. Make sure that they got all their windows shut, and I always tell them, hey, make sure your windows are shut and locked, and if you're gonna do it, try to do it in a text so you have a copy of that where they come back and say, okay, yep, got it. And that will cover your butt in case they got a window cracked and you do a pressure wash and now you owe them drywall and carpet. You can say, no, I told you to lock your damn shit and you said okay. And then you went to work. Not my fault. Looked shut to me, so cover your ass. Let me go ahead and get everything set up. I'll show you the siphon hookup real fast and then we'll get moving. So you need to do your checks, right? I first hooked up my garden hose to a spigot, turned the spigot on. Garden hose was clear of all and any debris. That includes like lizards and frogs living in your garden hose. You don't want to turn it on and push them into your pressure washer. So you do that first, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire up my pressure washer with nothing on the end of my hose so the water's free flowing to make sure that there's nothing in this hose. All right. Also, I'm going to listen and feel for right here the siphon. Here's the siphon, and so I'm going to listen and feel for the siphon flowing before I do anything. If I got some pretty decent, just a little teeny bit of suction, even with just garden hose pressure, we're good to go. I can already hear it. Hear it? Hear it screaming? That's the siphon. So we're good. And then what I did before I left the house, that little gurgle you hear is I loaded it with WD-40 just to make sure. And then we got the water right there flowing out freely out of the end of the pressure line. So I'll put my wand on. People have asked me, how tall is my wand? What length is it? My lance. So there you go. What is that, about 36 inches? Probably. 12, 24, maybe 36 inches, 33 inches, roughly. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook this up and make sure it's clear. And it is. Black tip, and we'll be ready. Ready to fire up this pressure washer, put the siphon hose in, and go to work. The siphon hose, PVC pipe on the end of the hose with the little screen down there. It's a little weighted thing, but it no longer has that. The PVC pipe keeps it from floating up. It holds it straight down, like so. And that's it. Choke. Okay, so the wash begins really simple, right? The black tip, it's the fan tip, it's a very low pressure tip, and it's the tip that you use for siphoning your chemicals, whether you're using bleach or something over the counter from Lowe's or Home Depot, Ace, True Value, whatever. Your black tip is your basic tip that comes with just about every single pressure washer you'll ever buy. That's going to be your siphon tip or your soap tip. So the black tip, big fan, large area, very low pressure, except when the wind blows it back in your face. Kind of sucked right there, but so that's all we're doing right now. You see the kind of sudsy water. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. Okay, you see the sudsy water was on the driveway there. Trying to block the camera for you guys. All right, and we got a little bit of moisture on the camera, but we'll get that off in just a few minutes. But with the black tip, as you can see, you can actually reach pretty high even with just the black tip, but there's really very little pressure. You're just kind of dripping the soapy water, the bleach, onto your surface. And sometimes you want a little bit of extra pressure. It helps move things along. So here you see now we got the pink tip, and the pink tip should not be confused with the red tip. The red tip is your like 0 degree pinpoint accuracy, like you hit with the red tip and you're gonna put holes in wood. So this is the pink tip. It's a big hole, and what it does is it still allows good flow, so the siphon works, but it shoots the water up further. Again, it doesn't have a lot of pressure, but it gets that water up there safely. So we were able to get all the way up to the top, and you can see we hit the peaks and then some. So I can go actually 3 stories high from the ground with my 4 gallon per minute pump with the pink tip with the approximately 30-inch lance that I'm holding right now. Back to the side here, we're back to the black fan tip. So we're just going to go ahead and just lay it on nice and thick, nice and heavy. We used a total of 3 gallons of bleach to do this 2-story house, but the 2-story house is not in bad shape. If this house was maybe 2 years without having been washed, I probably would have needed 5 gallons because it's the 6.0. If I used a 10.5% sodium hypochlorite or SH, I'm gonna go to the backyard. We probably could have used a little bit less. And then I'm gonna kill the camera, and I'll be back for the rinse. All right, sorry about that interruption. So here we go. Backyard, get things out of the way. Air conditioner is going to be fine. Don't worry about getting a little bleach on it. It's not going to hurt it. Just rinse it off when you do your rinse. Back to the black tip. Don't want to, you know, use the pink tip this close. There's no need to. Black tip it, nice, soft, low pressure, cover everything, windows and all. The question is, hey Dan, what do you do about the windows not spotting? I don't know. I guess I'm lucky. I don't have that problem. Nobody's ever complained about their windows spotting. I mean, it rains and the windows get wet from the rain. So, I mean, I rinse the windows real good and it's kind of like a sheet of water and it just dries. So I don't know, maybe from the Dawn soap? I'm not really sure. I got the whole house soaked in bleach now. I also did the fence. I just went with the black tip and just sprayed both sides of the fence. But you could see the dark that was all around the windows is gone, and I didn't rinse yet. So when I rinse, you know, we'll target that stuff there. But all I did is apply the bleach, and already humongous difference. But when I rinse, I'll rinse with the pink tip, and that'll give me just enough pressure to break up that dirt that's stuck to the house. But there you go. This corner edge here had a lot of black in it. Now it's white. They got discoloration right there on that wood column, and that's not anything I can do. That's like paint. They didn't paint it right. But all this had a lot of brown, or like the black starting, which was turning into the mildew. So that's all good. The dryer vents and fart fans, those are all nice and white now. That one there was actually pretty bad. The whole top there, nice, real nice and clean now. So everything looks real good. The only thing I got to do now is just come back, like I said, and rinse, and then just blow off the loose shit that's on the porch. So I'll just set the camera back, rinse a little bit, not much to show there, and then I'll show you guys the finished product. A lot of questions are, hey Dan, what tips do you use to rinse? All I do to rinse is I pull the siphon hose from the siphon port and I close it off. It's adjustable. I just close it off. I use the pink tip to rinse up high. I use the black tip to rinse down low. And if I need like some form of pressure, I use the pink tip. The only time I ever use your white, yellow, or green tips is if I'm doing the concrete. And for this particular job, I didn't need to use the white, yellow, or green tip. I used the pink tip. It was enough pressure to break up the lizard shit and the frog shit that was on the porch that he was complaining about. I was able to move that right along. The soap does a great job of loosening stuff off of the surface, and so once you apply that soap, then you can get it off. Even the black tip probably could have worked if I got close enough to it, but the pink tip just kind of did a good job. As you'll see, I just kind of spent a little bit of time here coming up on the concrete surface, and then that's it. That was just rinsing off the last of it. But the bugs came right off, everything came right off, as you'll see when we do a final walk around here. Those little black spots that were all over the back porch, the overhang, underneath the overhang, not sure what that was, came right off, no problem. And the bird shit that actually hit the back of his house, right in the center of the back of his house. And that there you see I'm blowing off the loose shit. That was a lot of yuck on the house for a brand new house. But we're done. It's 2:20 and we're done. We got it cut, edge trimmed, cleaned up, and the whole house is washed. Real nice. But there was a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of like that black, like mud looking stuff. I don't know what it is. It's gone now. I got it off. But it was pretty yuck, especially underneath here. I just rinsed it. That's the reason for the Dawn. The Dawn dishwashing soap loosens up the dirt. Just gotta let it sit for a little bit, but we're done. Simple house wash. No difference than 50 other videos I got for you guys to check out. So if you got questions about my house washing, I got videos in a Pressure Wash Business playlist. It's called Pressure Wash Business Playlist. Make sure you check it out, and it's got everything you could ever want to know about house washing, soft washing with bleach, the way I do it with soft pressure. All right, I'll see you later.